Well, hello, sixth graders. Welcome to another edition of Art. I'm happy you're here and getting ready to draw something that's going to teach you a few things and hopefully improve your ability to think about what you're doing and plan well and do your best, okay? Just do your best. It's all about craftsmanship, okay? Just go slow and do your best. You can always pause the video, catch up a little bit and work on it. I'm hoping, boys and girls, that when you're done with this, you can add color to it. And remember, usually when we're in school, these lessons last about an hour or an hour and a half. So what we'll do right now only last maybe 25 minutes, but then it would be a good idea for you to put a little more time into it if you can. You know, it's a good thing. Okay, today what I'd like to do, boys and girls, is work on a couple of things. Number one, texture. Number two, the art element of space, where some things are close, some things are far, and you do that by overlapping. And we'll also touch on value, okay, and that's the lightness and darkness of objects. So what I'd like to do now is a different version of a desert landscape. If you were my student in fourth grade, we did a landscape then. And I'd like to try another one now that's a little bit different than that one. I'd like to experiment a little bit with some things I'm learning and finding on how to do, help some kids do some art. All right. So, you have your paper, a pencil. I like to use this pencil, it's a little bit darker. These are called Prismacolor ebony pencils, okay? You can use one in class when you're here, all right? Okay, so the first thing I want to do, boys and girls, I'm going to start with a cactus over here. So I have room over here for some interesting mountains we're going to draw and plant life down here. We're going to make an attempt at maybe a prickly pear and also a century plant, possibly. So, what I want to do first, boys and girls, is this right here. I'm going to start with this line right here. Okay? I'm going to stop it right there because now I want to come in with a arm of my cactus. And as you'll see, we'll do some overlapping here. And I'm going to come down here. Okay? That arm is coming out of the cactus in front of us. Okay, so now we're going to take this up to here and we are going to do that again. Now we're going to come back down. And this line's going to go all the way down to the bottom. Okay? We can put another arm on it, but it's going to be coming up from the back of it, okay? We'll do this. That's coming up on the other side of it. And what we can do is put, okay, now, next thing I like to do to this cactus is put some lines on it. Because that's what cactuses do. Remember, they're called ribs. See, it's going to look really good if you take your time and do your best, okay? Little lines like this. I know you're going to have fun with this because we live in the desert, you know. These things are all around us, aren't they? All right. Now I need more long vertical lines. I'm going to put 2 or 3 more. See if we can do 2 more. See if we have room for 2 more. Okay, so now grass at the bottom there where it's coming out of the ground. So we have to put thorns on it now. So just put V's on it. Just do that a bunch of times on it. Okay? And then those even go like this. They even go on the inside, right? Because there's thorns all over it. All right, a few more over here. You can spend more time doing this, okay? I don't want to take up all my time with all this when I can. If you go fast, you can get a bunch in there. All right, there's a lot more than that on there, but that's okay. We get the idea that it's covered in these. All right, that's looking good. All right, so now you guys, we're gonna leave that alone now. And we'll come back to value in just a few minutes, or shading, all right? So what I wanna do now is add a horizon line. And I'm just going to start doing this. That's going to be a kind of a butte in the background. And I'm going to do this. This comes through here and here. And one of those. Sometimes they do this, right? All right, I'm just making it up, you guys. I'm making it up as I go. Okay, there's a pretty good background now. I like it. Don't forget a few trees. I mean, not trees, I'm sorry, but some clouds, remember? See? Put that in the background. And clouds, they're a little bit tricky. Whatever you do to a cloud is going to be okay, because all clouds are different. Every single one is different. So whatever you do in there is okay. A lot of times the bottom of the cloud is going to be a little bit darker because it's where the shadow is. Okay. How about use the side of your pencil and shade the bottom of the cloud. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is add a few desert plants here, you guys. Here, I want to put in one of these. Anybody know what this is? It's called a prickly pear. And we'll add a few in here. Small ones growing out here and there, right? And now what you're going to do to that, you guys, is you got to put a bunch of V's on it. Three. I pick it V with a line in the middle. A little texture like that always helps you guys give it a little more realistic look. Maybe there's another one growing out of the ground right here. Also, you guys don't forget, on the ground, a little bit of shading on the ground underneath it. Okay, that's a prickly pear right there. And also they have the fruits on them, don't they? Some of them will start growing those fruits, right? Very good. One last thing here, and before we get to more details, boys and girls, I would like to draw something like a century plant. All right. So what I'm going to do is something like this. Okay, that's looking good. Now we get some of this in the background. How about one right here? Then we have this, you guys. This is going to be one of those things that kind of looks like this. And so all you really have to do, you guys, is just scribble on the inside. Just do some scribbling. Don't worry about what it looks like, because when you're a long way from these things, it kind of looks like that. It's all right. See, so we have that now. We can do this. Wait, this is kind of a some tufts of grass growing in the distance there, just a little bit behind the, Okay, so what I want to add here, boys and girls, some of these lines should come down a bit further. Because here's the horizon line, right? I think we should have a road or a river, whichever one you want to add. But that would look real good if we had it coming in from over here. See, the plants in front of it. Remember, since the river is so far away, it looks like it starts at the same spot, okay? So now we're just going to come in like this, and as it gets closer to us, it gets wider and wider. Okay, so you can put some blue in there if you'd like. Nothing wrong with a little sun over here, right? Remember, when you make your sun, bigger circles like that, in yellow and orange, red. Last thing I want to do with this, boys and girls. Now, you're welcome to add any details you'd like to add, all right? I mean, there's fish, birds. Can you do this to a cactus? It's where an animal lives in there, right? Bird. Since the sun's over here, you guys, we have to shade the right side of the mountains, or the left side. The left side of the mountains, you guys. And you'll add some real good shadow to it. It'll make it look kind of it starts looking the way it would if you were standing there. What we also need to do, boys and girls, is since the sun's over here, the left side of the cactus should have shade on it. See how nice that looks? Ends up looking really realistic. We have light shining on it now. And you can shade this a little bit. The shading on these plants is important too, because it makes it look like it's, you know, has a size, it's big, it has a shadow on it, okay? And then shadow on the ground, right? Also, see the sun hitting this. Shadow on the ground from the cactus, right? All these little details, you guys, end up making your art look really good. And then you can have rocks in the river, right? Unless you made it a road. See? The water hits the rocks and goes around them. Birds in the sky, right? Coming in, checking things out. Okay, boys and girls, that's where I'm going to let you add the details you'd like to add. Birds, I added birds. You can add animals, lizards, snakes, whatever you like to add to this, okay? Even some cactus way here in the distance that see, some cactuses that are far, far away. Then they have a shadow underneath them, right? Even that looks cool. Okay, boys and girls, there you go. You have the opportunity now to work on this a little longer. I would if I were you. Sit and color it and have some fun with it.